What if we told you that this week, some of the most important structural pieces of the future Camp Nou quietly arrived on site, and almost nobody noticed? From new compression ring elements, to major facade progress, to glass installations closing key corners of the stadium, this week was not about noise. It was about structure. And today, we're breaking it all down, clearly, calmly, and step by step. Welcome back to SportsRender. Let's begin. One of the most visible areas of progress this week is again the facade, specifically the installation of the vertical slats. Two major sectors are now practically complete. In the lower sections, installation continues at a steady rhythm. A crane has been positioning additional slats where gaps remain, especially in the frontal lower areas. What's important here is not just that they are being installed, it's how systematic the process looks. Each slat is placed, aligned, and secured with precision. Behind them, finishing works continue: sealing, detailing, surface adjustments. The facade is no longer an abstract concept. It is becoming real. The south goal continues to show strong structural movement. This week, diagonal beams that were previously missing are now in position or ready to be installed. A crane has been actively lifting pieces into place. These diagonal supports are key. They reinforce the external frame and help stabilize the upper cantilever sections. In addition, painting works are visible on structural steel elements. Protective coatings are being applied, most likely anti-corrosion layers, preparing the metal for long-term durability. Support brackets that were missing in previous weeks have now been completed, bringing this sector closer to full external structural completion. From a structural point of view, this zone is clearly advancing toward final form. The lateral side of the stadium presents quieter but equally important progress. Two new large pillars are now positioned on site. These are likely prepared for integration into the compression ring system, one of the key load distribution structures of the roof. Material stock areas remain full, but organized. Internal work continues between the radial beams. Scaffolding placed between these beams indicates preparation for additional structural elements, possibly connection points or secondary supports. There is also continued work inside the elevator core structures. Concrete panels are staged nearby, ready for future placement. The lateral side might look calm from a distance, but structurally, it is very active. This week brought a very visual milestone. Both diamond-shaped corner structures in the Tribuna area now have their corner glass panels installed. These glass pieces close the edges of the diamond forms and immediately change the visual impression of the stadium. The corners now look finished. Precise suction lifting machines were used for installation. These glass panels are large, heavy, and require exact positioning. Above the entrances, some glass panels still remain to be installed, but the overall enclosure is clearly advancing. This is not just aesthetic. These glass zones will form key hospitality and circulation spaces. And now, they finally look like real architectural elements, not construction zones. The most interesting structural movement this week might be in the north goal. A truck delivered 5 new compression ring elements, heavy steel components that will eventually connect and stabilize the upper roof structure. These pieces are massive. They are part of the circular compression system that will support the roof's tension cables in the future. In addition, new black pipe elements were observed in the corner area, possibly related to future technical installations. Waterproofing works also continue in certain internal sections. Areas that were previously broken up with hydraulic hammers are now being prepared for new concrete pours. The north goal remains structurally behind the south in visible progress, but preparation for key structural phases is clearly underway. In the Tribuna section, internal activity remains steady. Concrete panels have been staged and are waiting for installation. Inside elevator cores, welding and metal adjustments continue. Sparks were visible from steelwork, indicating active fitting and structural preparation. Scaffolding remains in place around upper pillar sections, suggesting final concrete closures are still being completed. Externally, progress may seem slower here, but internally, the system is being prepared carefully. In one of the active corners, an additional fourth level of tubular elements has now been installed. Previously, 3 were visible. Now, there are 4. These tubular structures are part of the outer framework that will eventually connect to facade or roof support systems. Their gradual stacking shows that vertical progression is continuing. Material removal is also ongoing. Construction sacks are being cleared by truck, a good sign that certain tasks are being completed and cleaned up. Wind conditions this week appeared strong. Tower cranes were mostly inactive during certain moments, likely paused for safety. However, work continued at ground and mid-level heights. Across all sectors, South Goal, Lateral, Tribuna, North Goal, activity is visible. This is not a single front construction. It is simultaneous development on multiple structural lines. Facade, compression ring, glass enclosure, elevator cores, diagonal reinforcement. Each part advancing step by step. This week may not have delivered one dramatic visual transformation, but structurally, it was important. Compression ring elements arrived, facade slats expanded, corner glass closed, diagonal beams progressed, internal cores advanced. The stadium is moving from rough construction to defined architectural identity. And when these structural phases lock together, especially the compression ring, the next major stage will begin. If you follow this project closely, you know the quiet weeks are often the most important ones. If you want to continue following the full transformation of the new Spotify Camp Nou, step by step, week by week, make sure to subscribe to SportsRender. Like the video if you enjoy these structured breakdowns, and tell us in the comments, which area of the stadium do you think is progressing the fastest right now?